this exhibition by Brian Eno, and it's touted as his first retrospective. It's not, I wouldn't consider it a retrospective because it doesn't have very many pieces, but it's a fantastic exhibition. The exhibition is called Lightforms, Soundforms. The main exhibition on the bottom floor is called New Space Music, and it's a large room set up with some new ambient music. I think that was commissioned for some Saudi Arabian person from Brian Eno. And you sit down on sofas in the middle of the room, and it's really quite relaxing, although it is a bit loud, and I'm assuming that Brian Eno probably chose the volume, so I don't know whether they've turned it up or it needs to be turned down. It is a little bit loud because I think it shouldn't be quite that overwhelming. But otherwise it's really fantastic music, and then they have lights up in the ceiling that are colored lights that do lend themselves to the ambiance well. And then you go upstairs, and there are 2 more floors of his works. The top floor has something called 77 million paintings, which is a sort of collage of video screens that he's arranged on the wall in a geometric pattern. And they seem to be changing simultaneously. There are 2 or 3 groups of them, and they change simultaneously so that it looks like a sort of a kaleidoscope painting. And when he says 77 million paintings, I'm wondering if it's sort of a little bit of a sarcastic commentary on the sheer number of paintings that exist now in the 21st century, old paintings and new. And then it has 2 piles of some sort of industrial detritus or whatever on either side of the geometric pattern that shifts slowly. And then on the second floor, in the middle floor, they have he has his light boxes, which I'd seen something about before, and they are quite nice. And I'm not sure, they're basically light paintings, something to that effect. I don't know whether he'd call it that, but they have a good aesthetic. They're nice. I would definitely consider like having something like that as an art piece. They are impressive, and they're sort of soothing, and they really lend themselves to a good ambiance. And then he has 3 screens set up. There were only 2 on today, and the other day there were only 2 on, which are a different 2 when I came here before. And it has 2 screens that are connected to a couple of iPads with his apps, because Brian Eno does these music apps that sort of conduct eternally morphing ambient music based on sort of like music for airports and his earlier works, I guess. And those apps were done in conjunction with somebody, I think it's an Irish person, but anyways, he sells them online. He sells them in the Apple App Store. I actually bought one of them a while back, many years ago actually. It's about 10 years ago maybe. And they were really interesting apps. As far as their ambient music that they produced, it wasn't super soothing to me for some reason. And I think the first one was actually based on music for airports, because it was similar. It had a similar sort of that woman's voice or a chorus or something like that. Overall, it was a fantastic experience to go and see Brian Eno's work in an exhibition. I think it deserves to be exhibited. I think it's entirely valid to exhibit it, despite the fact that it's mostly sound work. Brian Eno is certainly one of the most important people in pop music, although I'm sure he doesn't want to be considered a pop artist, and he definitely bridges the gap between pop art and fine art better than any musician that I'm aware of. He produced U2 and Talking Heads and stuff like that, so huge groups. But he produced his own music too, and my actual favorite pop song of all pop songs is Here Come the Warm Jets, which is the last song on his first solo pop album, as far as I'm aware. And it's just this beautiful riffing is the word I'm thinking of, continuing guitar strumming type thing going on. And here come the Warm Jets, and that's way back in 1973. Then he subsequently produced 4 pop albums, as far as I know. I was just surfing Spotify for his music yesterday, and he produced 4 pop albums, and then he did this amazing break, and he produced Music for Airports. And Music for Airports was effectively the first full-fledged ambient music album. There had been predecessors before, but Nothing so concentrated, focused, and definitely ambient music. It's music solely for ambiance and for this, my actual favorite genre of music or sound is drone ambient, and music for airports is really the first full-fledged, like I said, manifestation of that genre. It's raining, I'm gonna go over there. Barcelona Airport played Brian Eno's Music for Airports for 2 weeks consecutively, just this past month on their loudspeakers. I passed through Barcelona Airport in July, but I didn't hear it. I'm not sure if they were playing it when I was there or not. I think I became aware that they were playing it after I'd actually gone through the airport. So that's that for the Brian Eno Exhibition. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like and share and support me on Patreon. Check out my Patreon page and check out my website too. JesseWaugh.com, or just Google my name, Jesse Waugh. Okay, thanks.